Christopher, you're a disgrace to this family. Leave. You're not wanted here. Those harsh words came from my dad at my brother Alex's wedding in front of a room full of people. Alex didn't stand up for me. I was about to leave, boiling with anger, when a wedding staff member approached me, asking for help in a moment of crisis. This turned out to be the moment when my dad finally realized who I really was, and he got quite a surprise. My name is Christopher, and I'm one of two brothers. Our dad, a lawyer, was always tougher on me than on Alex. Growing up, we had no free time between lessons and studying. Even playing with friends wasn't allowed. I worked hard to live up to Dad's expectations and to catch up to my brother Alex, who I deeply admired. But no matter how hard I tried, I always felt inferior to Alex and a disappointment to my dad. The first significant event in my life was taking the entrance exam for a prestigious private school. Knowing it was a long shot, I still tried to get in because Dad wanted it. The result was inevitable. I failed. After that, Dad pretty much ignored me, only speaking to Alex and my mom. So, I ended up going to a local public high school. For those 3 years, I constantly felt stressed. Dad continued to ignore me, and so did Alex, which was heartbreaking. My only solace was my mom. She continued to treat me the same way as always. Right after high school, I left home without saying a word to Dad or Alex. I'd only left a note for my mom. Desperate to leave, I found a job where I could also live in. Luckily, I found a job opening at a hotel. I applied right away and got the job. Ever since I started working, I've been living a fulfilling life. It wasn't stifling like it was at home. I got to focus on what I needed to do. Christopher, another mistake. How many times do I have to tell you? Michael, the hotel manager, was really tough on me. As a high school graduate, I didn't know anything about the real world and was always getting scolded. Still, I worked hard every day, but it was a different kind of tough from Dad. Michael actually praised me when I did well, which motivated me to do better. Something memorable happened at the start of the new year. New Year's is the busiest time for the hotel. After completing all the required training, I was finally able to work on my own. That year, the hotel seemed more crowded than usual, especially during dinner time when guests either gathered in a big room to eat or had meals delivered to their rooms. It was insanely hectic. I was still a rookie and knew I was causing the hotel some trouble, but I gave it my all. Then a minor event happened on New Year's Day. A coworker got the flu, leaving us short-staffed. I worked my tail off, probably putting in twice the hours mandated by state labor laws. Just when you'd think it couldn't get worse, it did. The kitchen sink's pipe broke right during dinner time, and of course, it's New Year's Day, so no plumber was coming. We were stuck. The mood of our manager, Michael, kept getting worse. I took a bold step and said, "Michael, can I try fixing the plumbing? I'll sort it out." Michael and the others looked puzzled, but he had no choice. With a hopeful tone, he asked, "Christopher, can you do it?" I got to work on the plumbing. Actually, I had gone to a science-focused high school after failing to get into the private one. There, I gained specialized knowledge in engineering and hands-on experience. Half an hour later, I had somehow managed to fix the pipe. "Michael, it's fixed," I announced. Michael rushed over and turned the faucet. Water flowed out with force. Everyone in the room smiled. "Great job, Christopher. You're my pride and joy." Being praised by Michael felt amazing. We managed to get through New Year's Day at our hotel. I'll never forget the fulfillment I felt that day. It's fair to say it has shaped who I am today. 15 years have passed since then, and I have fully adapted to this job. One day, I got a letter from Mom after a long time. It turns out Alex is getting married. I keep in touch with Mom a few times a year, but haven't been in contact with Dad or Alex. The letter asked for me to attend Alex's wedding. Why should I go? That was the feeling bubbling up inside me. So, I wrote back to Mom, saying I couldn't attend. Yet a letter from her came right back, begging me to somehow make it. I reluctantly agreed to go. The location was a top-notch luxury hotel. Alex's bride is a young woman from a prestigious company, and the guest list outnumbered those at my work's New Year celebration. It was quite lavish. I thought it was typical of Alex and Dad's style. Their meeting was probably arranged at a party by Dad or was some kind of political marriage. On the day of the wedding, I wore a suit I'd had for a few years and headed to the venue. I gave my name at the reception and was guided to the waiting room. There were already quite a few people there, all looking like high society folks. It must be Alex's bride, the woman with long, beautiful hair in the back. With no one to talk to, I was people watching when I locked eyes with two men I recognized. Their faces were clearly unhappy. Dad and Alex walked up to me. "Why are you here?" I heard Dad's deep voice. It had been years since I'd heard his voice. "Is it so wrong to celebrate Alex's wedding?" "Oh, by the way, congrats, Alex," I said. Alex made a conflicted face. He probably couldn't openly appreciate my congratulations in front of Dad. "What have you been up to all these years?" "No doubt some worthless job." "Christopher, you shouldn't be here," Dad said. As Dad spoke, Mom rushed over to us. "Come on, Christopher is here to celebrate. No need to be so harsh." Mom was desperate to persuade Dad, but her voice was drowned out. "Enough, Mom. Christopher, let me make this clear. You're a disgrace. I don't want you ruining Alex's celebration. Get out." Even I felt the surge of anger. I hadn't wanted to come to Alex's wedding in the first place, and yet I was treated like this. That's why I didn't want to come. "Fine, I'm leaving." "Okay, Mom. This is why I didn't want to be here, to see this terrible Dad," I said and turned my back to exit the waiting room. I picked up my belongings and was about to step outside when I heard someone call out, "Please wait." A wedding staff member from the hotel was rushing over. "What's up?" It seems we have an unexpected guest for today's wedding. We're short on seats and food." Everyone in the waiting room looked worried. Emily the planner, the parents-in-law, and the staff. "I see. Is that what's going on?" Emily couldn't handle it alone, and they were asking for my help. But what did this have to do with me? Reflecting on past actions, I thought they deserved it. All my grievances against Dad and Alex were bubbling up, but then memories from the past filled my mind. Times when Alex and I used to play. Alex always made time to play with me during study breaks. If I just walked away, I would be no different from Dad. I turned back to the wedding staff. "Can you take me to Emily?" The staff member's face relaxed. I quickly followed them back into the waiting room. I returned to the very place I was kicked out of. In the center of the room, Emily, my dad, and the bride's father all wore worried expressions. As I got closer, my eyes met Dad's. "Why has Christopher returned?" "Leave." Dad approached me with a furious look, but Emily got to me first. "General Manager, please help us," she said. Dad's eyes widened in shock. "You see, I'm now the general manager for all the hotels that my current company manages. When I first joined, we had just started expanding. Now we have hotels and wedding venues all over the country. And this hotel we're in right now, it's one of the hotels I oversee. I think I can handle this." I calmly explained the situation. "Dad, I'm busy right now. We'll talk later." Saying this, I turned back to Emily. "Relax, Emily. Get the seats and everything else ready. I'll take care of the food." The stress faded from Emily's face. "Understood. I'll leave the food to the general manager and handle the rest." With that, Emily rushed off. "All right, it's my turn now." Everyone in the waiting room was watching me. I left the room and headed to my friend, Chef Jackson. This hotel has a high-end restaurant, and Jackson, the chef, is a good friend of mine. "Hey, you in?" I called out. After some rustling, Jackson appeared. "Christopher, what brings you here?" "Work. I'm here as a guest today. My brother's wedding is happening here, but we're one meal short. Can you help?" "Sure thing. I'll whip something up with my culinary skills." "Much appreciated. I owe you dinner." "Looking forward to it." I returned to the waiting room after taking care of a few things. The guests had already moved to the ceremony area. Only my parents and the bride's parents were left. "The issue is resolved. We've got an extra meal coming," I announced. Upon hearing this, my mom and the bride's parents looked relieved. My dad looked conflicted. Quite the proud man he is. "Christopher, thank you so much. Because of you, the celebration can go on successfully. It's all in a day's work as a general manager." And with that, we all entered the ceremony hall. The lights dimmed, and the groom and bride entered. Alex looked incredibly handsome, and his bride was stunning. The ceremony proceeded, and then it was mealtime. I confirmed that everyone was served and breathed a sigh of relief. The ceremony concluded successfully. The faces of the groom and bride were filled with happiness. After the ceremony, we had a little talk with Alex's family and the bride's family. The topic was gratitude toward me, especially from the bride's family. I was thanked profusely. These moments are why I love my job. "Christopher, thank you so much. We had the best date ever, all thanks to you." "No worries. Wishing you all the happiness in the world." Thank you so much. I looked at Dad and Alex, both of them wearing complicated expressions. Mom walked over to me. Christopher, you did wonderfully. Thank you. Dad and Alex want to speak to you. I looked back at Dad and Alex. Alex spoke first. Christopher, you saved us. Thank you and sorry for everything up to now. As long as I could help, Alex, it's all good, I replied. Then Dad lowered his head without saying a word. He seemed to have nothing to say, and that was fine with me. After all, I never became like Dad. Just then, my cell phone buzzed in my pocket. It was the manager from a hotel in the next town over. More work, but hey, I enjoy it, so no complaints. All right, I'm off. Got work to do. You two take care. I probably won't see Alex or Dad again, I thought as I left the room without looking back and headed to work. 3 days after Alex's wedding, I was enjoying a rare day off, sitting on the sofa, sipping warm coffee. That was my happy time. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. Who could it be? I wondered as I went to the door. Alex was there. Surprised, I opened the door. Alex, what brings you here? Sorry, I got your address from Mom. Wanted to talk to you. Christopher, he wants to talk to me. Maybe he came to say thanks again. Well, you want to come in. Pardon the mess. If it's okay with you, Christopher, I'd like that. Alex gave a forced smile. I invited him in and served him coffee. Thank you. Smells good. Alex took a slow sip of his coffee. Seems like we both enjoy coffee. So what did you want to talk about, Alex? Alex put down his coffee cup and looked me straight in the eye. The next moment, he apologized. I'm really sorry for everything. I was puzzled. He came all this way to say that. A phone call would have sufficed. Hey, it's all right, Alex. Alex looked up. Actually, I came today because I want to share some things with you, Christopher. If you don't mind, I'd like you to hear my grievances. Grievances? I was left speechless. Alex began to speak slowly. You might think I'm the older brother who can do anything, but I envy you, Christopher. You're free from Dad's pressures, living your own life away from our parents. I couldn't say a word. Alex felt that way. I had no idea. Silence filled the room for a moment. I felt somewhat guilty. After all, I had unintentionally shifted all of Dad's expectations onto Alex. Choosing my words carefully, I spoke. Alex, I'm sorry. I never considered that you were struggling too. My brother smiled weakly. That's just it. It's not your fault, Christopher. I was the weak one. Hearing that, I finally found my words. Alex, I think you've been through struggles I can't even imagine. I truly admire that. But I also want you to know about me. Taking a deep breath, I paused to collect my thoughts. Alex listened intently, not saying anything. Breaking away from our parents and becoming independent wasn't easy either. The beginning was really tough. Yeah, it's true. We both have our share of hardships, Alex responded. It seemed Alex had more to say. I don't consider myself wise enough to convince Alex, nor do I know the words to do so, I thought. So, I said what I honestly felt to my esteemed brother. To be honest, I think you should do what you really want to do, Alex, without worrying about Dad. After pondering my words, Alex stood up, a relieved look on his face. You're right, Christopher. You've helped clear up my inner turmoil. Thank you. No, thank you, Alex, for coming over. I escorted Alex to the door. I'll come by for coffee again, he said and left, a natural smile on his face. A month later, a letter arrived from Alex. He had been a lawyer to meet Dad's expectations but decided to quit and start training as a glass craftsman. Turns out he met his girlfriend at a glass workshop he had been attending as a hobby. I'm sorry, Alex, for ever doubting you. As expected of Alex, he's been disowned by Dad. But Alex's wife is supportive and he's full of motivation. Dad remains the same, but I know Alex will pull through. Since then, our family started interacting more. There really is something special about the bond between siblings. As I was lost in thought, my mobile phone's alarm went off. Whoa, it's already this time. I have to leave the house today. Another day awaits on the path I chose and the job I chose.